there are disturbing new details about Vince McMahon and Becky Lynch, and Becky's husband, Seth Rollins, is disgusted by these shocking new details. This is Becky Lynch hugging Vince McMahon backstage. A very intimate and seemingly loving hug between a boss and employee. But what really is going on between Becky and Vince? As we know, Vince McMahon is in serious trouble. But one major WWE superstar has remained mostly quiet since this sickening news broke, as Becky Lynch doesn't like to talk about the allegations against Vince McMahon. This is because she is very thankful towards Vince, and she has said they were very, very close. But how close? Were they just boss and employee, or was there something more? Because several WWE employees have come forward and said that Vince McMahon harassed them, assaulted them, used his power over them, and of course, now we know he also committed illegal actions. And federal authorities are looking into this. But at the same time, Vince has to deal with this very, very serious lawsuit. Vince McMahon has said he is 100% innocent, and he is going to fight these charges. He believes he's going to win the lawsuit, and that he believes he is going to be found not guilty. That's what he believes, because he thinks he did nothing wrong. So far, Vince has only released a couple of statements, so we haven't fully gotten his side of the story. But now we are getting Becky Lynch's side of the story and new shocking details about her relationship with Vince McMahon. Could it be that these current under contract female stars, they're still scared to speak out? Did anything happen behind the scenes that was not supposed to happen with Vince and any current WWE female star? Now, obviously, the biggest female star in WWE history is Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch has come forward and broken her silence about her relationship with Vince McMahon. Let's get to the full details on this right now. Becky Lynch rose to prominence while WWE was controlled by Vince McMahon. It seems that Becky and Vince had a very special relationship, because as we know, she quickly became the biggest female star in wrestling history, culminating at WrestleMania, where she became double champion. And it was all thanks to Vince McMahon. But while her star was rising, what exactly was going on behind the scenes? As we know, there have been numerous allegations and a lawsuit brought on by a former WWE employee. And every day, it seems, there are new accusers coming forward telling their story about what Vince McMahon did to them. And now Becky Lynch has broken her silence about her relationship with the then chairman of WWE, Vince McMahon. And of course, the one person who wanted to know the truth the most was Becky's husband, Seth Rollins. Here is what Becky revealed in a brand new interview where she discloses what exactly happened between her and Vince. Here are some excerpts from what she said in the interview. "He was so good to me," talking about Vince, "apart from the run-ins. But you have run-ins in every relationship, especially at that level. I only ever had a wonderful experience in WWE with Vince, for the most part." So let's pause right there and let's look at what exactly she says. She says, "He was good to me apart from the run-ins." What exactly are these run-ins? And then she goes on to say, I only ever had a wonderful experience in WWE with Vince, for the most part. So she is revealing a lot here, talking about she had run-ins with Vince, saying that it was good for the most part. What exactly happened behind closed doors between Vince and Becky? Becky goes on to say, I would always love my interactions with him, and that becomes very, very difficult. You're reading these horrific allegations, but about somebody that you look up to as very much like a father figure. So those were the two key things that I noticed from the interview. The run-ins and talking about how it was good for the most part. She didn't talk exactly about what these run-ins were or what she meant by saying it was good with Vince for the most part. Those could be red flags, and that something did happen. Whether or not it was anything like what is alleged in the lawsuit by the former WWE employee, or maybe they were just verbal arguments, disagreements. So far, Becky has remained silent about what exactly she meant when she said those things. Now, in the interview, she also said a lot of good things about Vince McMahon, saying that he is responsible for her living out her dream, meeting her husband. And speaking of her husband, Seth Rollins has to be wondering what did go on behind closed doors with his wife, Becky Lynch, and her boss, Vince McMahon. But maybe Becky has told him the truth. And it is very possible that nothing illegal went on, nothing inappropriate, and these run-ins that Becky was talking about were simply arguments. This interview was just released. Obviously, with what Becky said, there are going to be a lot of questions that she will need to answer in the coming days. And soon, we will know the truth about the relationship between Becky Lynch and Vince McMahon. But I personally believe that when Becky was talking about these run-ins and her relationship with Vince being good for the most part, that she was not alluding to anything inappropriate or illegal going on. It was simply her way of saying they didn't always see eye to eye when it came to her character and her career in WWE. But the fact that she was vague about what these run-ins were, and with the whole Vince McMahon scandal, obviously there's going to be questions about what exactly she meant. What are your thoughts about the Vince McMahon scandal, and what do you think is going to happen to him? Leave a comment and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.